Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the third chapter of your economics book, that is money and inflation. Now, before we get into this chapter, we should know how, how the money has come or how the money was originated. Now, we all know one thing that money is the center of all the economic activities in the modern world. Today, you can't buy anything without money, right? So, if you want to satisfy all our needs and wants, we need money. Now, money is not only the medium of exchange, but it is also used as a store of value. So, people save money for their future need. If you see the word store of value, this means we use money today and also we can use the same money in the near future. What we basically mean to say is that money's value remains the same. You can store the money and that same money you can use wherever you want, right? Whenever you want. Now, there is one topic called as time factor, time value of money. We are not talking about time factor over here. We are just talking about money as it is used in the future. All right. Now, as we know that human wants are unlimited and person cannot satisfy all wants by one's own produce. That is why a person tries to satisfy maximum possible wants by way of mutual exchange of goods. Now, in the olden days, we know that money was not in use. One person used to exchange the good with other person. This was called as barter system of exchange. You see the definition here. Barter system is a system of exchange where goods or services are directly exchanged with other goods and services without using medium of exchange, such as money. So in the olden days, one good was exchanged with other good. And in between, there was no money. Now, this prolonged for a long period of time. But as the people continuously used barter system, they started facing some difficulties in using barter system. They had some limitations. Now, let us see the limitations of barter system. The first limitation is given as problem of mutual adjustments of wants. Now, basically, this problem is a very common problem in which it says that when one person exchanges good with other person, there may be chances that the person who is exchanging the good with the other person, suppose one person has wheat, other person has rice, but the person who is exchanging wheat to the other person who has got rice, the person who is exchanging wheat doesn't want rice, he wants some other commodity, maybe clothes, textile, but this person doesn't have cloth, textile, he has what? Rice. As there is lack of money, as there is no medium of exchange, the person who is ready to exchange wheat cannot able to exchange. Why? Because he is not able to get what is his want. His want is what? Cloth. This is problem of mutual adjustments. You see written over here, with socio-economic development, the needs of human beings increased, and so the economic structure, which was simpler in earlier times, became more complicated. Now, those who had rice to exchange for wheat did not need wheat, but clothes under barter. Well, on the other hand, one who had clothes did not want rice, but wanted ghee in exchange for their clothes. So there is a difficulty in establishing a need for each other's goods or services to make barter possible. Now here, barter system was not able to take place because the demands of each exchanger is different. Wheat, जिसके पास wheat है, वो wheat exchange करने के लिए ready, लेकिन उसे सामने वाले से rice नहीं चाहिए, उसे तो cloth चाहिए. लेकिन सामने वाले के पास rice है, उसके पास cloth नहीं है, उसे शायद कुछ और चाहिए. So the first difficulty is this. Second difficulty we have to see of barter system, that is difficulty in storing value. Now, difficulty in storing value means when farmer used to exchange one good with other, supposedly one farmer has exchanged wheat with rice. He has given his wheat and he has taken the rice. Now, as he has to store the rice, space is required. So the second limitation of barter system was difficulty in storing value. If he has taken lot of rice, if he has exchanged lot of wheat, then there was a problem of storing the value, storing these goods, where they should be stored. So there was a question of how to store these goods. Today we have godowns, granaries of the government where goods are stored safely. But in the olden days, they did not have the idea that they can store the good. And to store the good, it requires a lot of space. So second difficulty is there was a problem of storing the goods when they were exchanged. When an individual produced on large scale through one's own efforts, he or she had to exchange this produce instantaneously for other goods and services. It was otherwise difficult to store the surplus goods or store the exchange value of these goods. So people used to face difficulty as to how to store इतना सारा goods जो उन्होंने exchange किया है उसे कहाँ रखेंगे वो लोग कहाँ store करेंगे तो store करने के लिए उन्हें दिक्कत होती थी. And the third problem of barter system, the third limitation of barter system is problem of measurement of value. Measurement of value. With the division of labor and specialization, there was an increase in the even in the economy. Lot of goods were produced, lot of forest produce was harvested, but there was a problem of measuring the value of goods and services. In those days, people had no clear idea about how they should measure the value. Like for example, if one person has got 20 kg of rice, how much quantity of rice he should exchange to get other commodity. He has rice, other person has got supposedly cotton. So how much kg of rice he should give to get equal quantity of cotton? मतलब कितना kg, कितना किलो राइस देगा तब जाके उसे कितना मीटर कॉटन मिलेगा, या कितना kg राइस देगा तो सामने कितना लीटर उसे ऑयल मिलेगा. Because units are not same over here. One is in kg, another was in meter, kg, liter, right? So there was no proper measurement of value. मैं सामने वाले को 20 किलो अगर चावल दे रहा हूँ तो सामने वाले से कितना लीटर मुझे घी लेना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि वैल्यू यहाँ पे सेम नहीं है, यूनिट्स यहाँ पे सेम नहीं है. 20 किलो चावल के सामने कितना लीटर मुझे घी लेना है. That was the confusion in the mind of the exchangers, and because of this problem, what happened? Barter system was stopped, and then there was an origin of the concept of money. This is how the money came into existence. To solve the problems of barter system, money was invented. Now, basically, the money that we have today is not the money that was invented. Initially, people had different types of money. Like for example, in the starting days, agriculture being the major sector of the economy, there was a large production of crops of which the required stock stored. Rest of the crops were sold by animals. When required, the animals could be sold to get goods, services, or even the crops in return. In this way, animals like horse, cow, and buffalo became the means of exchange values for money and trade. So initially, animals were used. Examples are given: horse, buffalo, cow. These are the animals which were used to exchange values for money and trade. When they wanted to sell their crop, they used to sell the crop and get the animal. So animal was the first medium of exchange after barter system. But as we know, every coin has two sides. Barter system has also got two sides, one advantage, other is disadvantage. Likewise, in case of animals also, you see, there are some disadvantages. They are the use of animals as a standard measure and a common medium of trade also became limitation and caused difficulty. Like animals are mortal, they get sick and die. Therefore, the storage of wealth in form of animal was not advisable. Animal cannot live. Animals cannot live for longer years. They are mortal. Mortal means they have to die after some span of time. They get sick. That is why even animal also was not the correct means of exchange. So animals, the use of animals as a medium of exchange also was stopped. Thus, valuable minerals, stones were used instead of animals. So the use of animal was stopped, and people in the olden days started using minerals and stones in place of animals. They started using minerals and stones in place of animals. You can see over here minerals and stones. At the onset of imperialism, the use of coins started as a mean of trade and exchange of goods and service in the kingdom. As imperialism started in the country, so many kings established their ruling, their kingdoms. They invented their own coins, right? They invented their coins, they minted the coins, and they started using the coins. Now, again, the coins had the disadvantage. That is, the only limitation was that they were used in limited societies and regions. Now, suppose that the ruler is ruling some part of India. Now, the coin that he has invented, that coin will be used only in his kingdom. It cannot be used in the other part of the country. That is, it has got limited use, right? So finally, even the coin also was dropped. Then we have democracy and industrialization inspired the need for the modern money as a means of exchange. By the support of central government, the money became widely accepted as a means of exchange of goods and services. Money also succeeded in overcoming the limitation of storage of value for money. So the advent of banking system made it easier to transfer and storage of money, right? So as the time passed by, we had democracy, industrialization, and central government came in center, at the center, and then they invented money. So money became the means of exchange. It is widely accepted, and then banking system also started. So this is how we can see the journey as to how money came into the market. Now, first of all, let us try to understand what is the meaning, what is the definition of money. So according to Professor Marshall, he says that money is that medium which is used as a means of exchange without any doubt or investigation, regardless of time or place. Now, you take money, it says that money is the medium that you can use as a means of exchange. You buy anything and you pay money. So exchange of money is done without any kind of doubt or investigation. Means when you do a shopping, when you purchase the things, when you pay the money, there is no doubt that the currency that you are paying is not a money. It is widely accepted throughout the world, regardless of any investigation of time or place. So when we pay the money, there is no doubt that we will be questioned, or there is no doubt that the money will it be accepted or not. No, money is widely accepted and it is used as a means of exchange without any doubt or investigation, regardless of time or place. You can use money in Gujarat, the same money you can use in other state of India, provided when we go in the other countries, we have to exchange the money, right? We cannot use the same currency in the other country. We just have to exchange the currency, but we can use it indirectly also. If you are exchanging 1 lakh rupees of India with American dollars, you get same amount of money in dollars, and that you can use in American countries. So money is used without any doubt or investigation, regardless of time or place. You can use money today, tomorrow, in the near future, or money was used in the past, today also we are using. Then let us see the functions of money. The first function of money is used as a medium of exchange. As I have told you, money is used as a medium of exchange in trade. Whatever we buy, we pay in return. That is, we pay money, right, for our shopping. Now, we don't have to go for barter system. So money has completely removed the lack of double coincidence of wants. Double coincidence of wants means in barter system, What was the problem? When a person is exchanging wheat with rice, he was giving wheat, he was giving rice, right? One person was giving wheat, other person was giving rice. So he was getting wheat, he was getting rice. That is, but in case if the person doesn't want rice, he wants something else, what he should do? He could not able to go for exchange of wheat with rice, right? So today, money has completely removed the problem of double coincidence of bonds and has made exchange very easier. Okay. We can spend our money to satisfy our present needs of goods and services, and also we can save money for the future to satisfy our future needs. Second function of money is money as a store of value. We have seen the example of animals. Now, animals in the starting were used as a medium of exchange, but we know one thing, animals cannot survive. Animals are mortal. They die at some point of time. So when you talk about money, if you keep the money as a saving in your locker or in your bank, that same money you can use in the future. That is called as store of value. If you have deposited some amount of money for 5 years, after 5 years, you have no doubt, you have no query whether you are going to use the money or not. Yes, you are going to use the same money after 5 years or after 10 years. So money is a store of value. After 5 years, nobody will tell you this money is outdated. No, money has got a value, right? So money can be used regardless of any time or place. But there is one point which contradicts over here. In finance, if you go in higher studies in colleges, in the finance subject, there's a topic called as time value of money. So time value factor little bit contradicts with store of value. Like time value of money says today's 1 rupee is not same as it was last year, or today's 1 rupee is not same as how it was 10 years before. वो हमारे घर में जो हमारे बुजुर्ग होते हैं, हमारे पिताजी माताजी, वो अक्सर ऐसा बोलते हैं कि उनके टाइम में जब वो छोटे बच्चे थे तो 10 रुपए में उनके पिताजी पूरा घर का सामान लेके आते थे, या 100 रुपए में एक महीना पूरा आराम से चल जाता था, राइट? तो उस वक्त के जो 10 रुपए थे आज से तकरीबन 40 साल पहले, 50 साल पहले, और आज के जो 10 रुपए है या उस 40 साल पहले के 100 रुपए और आज के 100 रुपए, फर्क है दोनों में। तो टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पे एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, वो एक अलग कॉन्सेप्ट है। स्टोर ऑफ वैल्यू यहाँ पे ये बता रहा है कि आप मनी कभी भी यूज कर सकते हो, उसकी जो वैल्यू है वो वैल्यू वही रहेगी। लेकिन टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी कुछ और बोलता है कि आज के पैसे आने वाले 10 साल में, आज के 1 रुपए की वैल्यू आने वाले 10 सालों में, या आज की 1 रुपए की वैल्यू आज से 1 साल बाद सेम नहीं रहेगी। ओके, तो टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी को हमको यहाँ पे इग्नोर करना है। टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी इज एन एक्सेप्शन टू दिस पॉइंट, हमें वो टाइम वैल्यू कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पे कंसिडर करना नहीं। ओके, so we can store the value, we can save the money, and that money we can use in our future for our needs. We also use money for our standard deferred payment. Nowadays we have a system of credits. We take loans, and on the loan we pay installments per month. We purchase vehicle, we purchase house, and we have hire purchase on the vehicles, right? HP बोलते हैं इसको, hire purchase मतलब we take the vehicle, car, bikes on loan, and we pay installments per month, EMIs. So money is also used as a deferred payment. Late payment करने के लिए भी हम money use कर सकते हैं. And finally we have money as a measure of value. Measure of value मतलब when we talked about barter system, in barter system, as I have discussed, one limitation, if a person wants to give 10 kg of rice or 20 kg of rice, how much liter of oil he should take? There was a lot of confusion because units were not same. But money has got a measure of value. Money implies the price system. In money we have a price system which allows the measure of price of each goods or service which can be compared to each other. तो money के केस में क्या है, हम लोग price measure कर सकते हैं, कोई भी goods हो, कोई भी services हम लोग ले रहे हैं. So by using the concept of money, we can measure the price of each and every goods, and we can easily compare and we can exchange. Okay. Now, the next topic we have is type of money. Now here, from starting till today, what all types of money had been used is discussed. Like for example, since the time of barter system, animals or precious stones were used as the means of exchange and storage of value. Thereafter, metal coins came into existence, which were followed by government-regulated notes and currency coins. This was succeeded by banking systems, credit card, and e-banking. So the types of money given over here are commodity money. Means in the olden days, barter system was there. One commodity was exchanged with other. Then we have animal money. Animals were exchanged. Metal money. Some coins were minted. Paper money, currency notes, plastic money. Nowadays we use all this one, debit cards and credit cards. That is plastic. And banking money. Banking money means invisible or e-money. That is our digital payments we do, right? Online payment you say. Okay. So for today we'll have the topic till here. In the next class we are going to see meaning of inflation. Thank you very much.